Hello, this is David with 3 Orcs. I just want to do a quick update on the village of Sheernobb. The gnome village I just made a video for that you watched a review of all the locations there in the village. I went over the village one more time and reviewed what we had, and I realized I missed something that might be needed for a Dungeon Master in the Temple of Elemental Evil campaign. Now, one of the modules of the Living Greyhawk series has a gnome looking for adventurers to come help the village out because there's been a series of raids from giants and orcs lately. And they're being overwhelmed by these raids, and the gnomes are at a loss of what to do about it. So they're reaching out to adventurers in the area to help them. Since the Viscount has pulled back the mounted borderers, they are of no help. The closest fort of the mounted borderers is in Sheernobb Valley at Fort Enmity, which is pretty far, about 20 miles north along the Long Road. They've been ordered to keep their position and not lend any aid to anybody south of that position. So basically the gnomes are alone to protect their village against these incursions. They can ask for help from Greenway Valley, but there's been a series of raids there as well. No help is coming anytime soon from the Greenway Valley or the capital city of Tolver. Now, Clan Keeleen is a clan stationed both in Tolver and here in Sheernobb. But unfortunately, they're not going to get any aid, except for maybe a few that might come help out. But this is not enough of them to handle this raid of giants. So one of the major characters, Meelib, goes out searching for adventurers to come help them out. Then he brings the players to the village to meet the elder, and the elder explains what's going on. And so then the first module takes over where the adventurers are taken by Meelib to find this outpost that the giants have in the gnarly forest. During this trip, he blindfolds them because he doesn't want the players to see their hidden gem and silver mines. They're closely guarded secret, and they want to make sure that none of the humans or orcs or giants know where these mines are because they're vital for trade of the gnome community. And they protect these mines religiously with illusion magic and other hidden tricks. So one of the things they do in the module is they blindfold the characters so that way they don't get a witness these, the trails or a sign of where these mines might be as he leads them close to them and past them. I figured that maybe in a campaign, the Dungeon Master might need to know a little bit about these mines. I went ahead and I wrote an article, some artwork of one of these mines. That way a Dungeon Master will have something to go by in case he needs it in his campaign. So let's go ahead and take a look at that article. Okay, we'll start at this blast screen. We'll go ahead and scroll down past the intro to the table of contents on the left and click on Verbobonc Atlas and then Verbobonc Viscounty. And from there, we'll click on Sheernobb. And as you can see, I added another location since my last video. And that would be the last one that's not numbered, the Keeleen Silver and Gem Mine. Clicking on that will open up the article here. Basically, this silver and gem mine is hidden southeast of Sheernobb. There's other mines in the area, but this is just an example of one of the mines in case you need it for whatever reason you need it in your campaign. It's a secretive operation that fuels the economic and cultural heart of the gnome village. It's overseen by the village elder, Glenda Dark Keeleen, and the mine's location and activities are shrouded in secrecy and with strict measures in place to prevent any outsiders from discovering its existence, just as the module explained. Half of the Sheernobb's gnome population is employed in various capacities, from mining and transportation to craftsmanship and security. The location of this particular one is nestled deep within the verdant hills of the Cron Hills, and the entrance is concealed by a natural rock formation. Dense vegetation, making it nearly impossible to detect without intimate knowledge of the area. A hidden path known only to the miners and guards lead to the entrance. And below that, I outlined the workforce and management. The foreman, the miners, the transportation workers, the craftsmen, the support staff. I outlined in general what they're all about, so you can use them to further detail out the location if you ever need it. There's guards. So the security measures would be important. They have gnome scouts that patrol the area. They have hidden watchtowers in the trees, obviously. And they have an alarm system, hidden bells and signal fires that alert the village in case of emergency. I don't know about the signal fires, but they probably use illusion magic for that. The patrol routes, there's a perimeter patrol, a pathway patrol, and a mine interior patrol. The mine description, what it looks like when it's concealed, and access to it. If the interior layout is not mapped out, that's something that you would have to do. I do describe the main tunnel and the mining chambers. There's several large ones of those of silver and gems being extracted, and there's some workshops there as well. There's living quarters like the barracks and the mess hall, and there's traps and alarms. various alarms to deter intruders and alert the guards of any breaches. The security enhancements have the illusion magic, so I want to make sure I pay special attention to that. So I described briefly the illusionary terrain that they use, phantasmal guardians, and the camouflage enchantments for the paths and the trails leading to the mine. So the Dungeon Master can play with that knowledge if he needs to key it. And then the conclusion is basically everything I just talked about. On the right-hand side, I went ahead and outlined an example foreman. His name is Brindle. His physical description and personality and background motivation, because you can use these NPCs in a campaign and ongoing plot or something. So I felt this would be useful to somebody if they needed it. I even added catchphrases to each NPC to be used for the DM. Every gnome in Sheernobb knows the importance of the mine, and all play our part in keeping this location a secret. I created a guard captain, Norin, everything you need to know about him, and he has his own catchphrase about scouts. And below that is just an example of Master Gem Cutter, Leanna, and her background and motivation, which is interesting. And she's got a catchphrase as well. Be very useful. And then I decided to create a scout, because most likely the players will end up running into a scout anyway, trying to find the mine, if that's what they're doing in the campaign. And for some reason, they had to be led to the mine to help out for some reason. You know, that could be an encounter that maybe the forces of Ius or the Temple of Elemental Evil found one of these mines. And you as a DM decided to add that as an encounter in the campaign. And so it's been overrun. The mine's been overrun, and the village, Midrib, seeks out the adventurers to help them. Because we need help with the mine. One of our mines are lost. It's been overrun by the Blackthorn orcs and a couple of giants. We need help. And Scout Lauren will escort you there. And so that's where this character will come into play, being escorted to the mine to help out, clear it out of the monsters. Or he could be met on the trail while the players are trying to find it. Then the last one, if you need a craftsman for some reason, an extra NPC at the location, we got Tilden. He's a gem crafter. So it's all useful information. Also, on the bottom right-hand side, I created flavor text. Flavor text of what it's like to find the mine. So just a description of what it looks like and how you get there, and the guards and the illusions and things like that protecting it. So I just want to do a quick video on the extra location I created for Sheernobb after the fact. I'm wearing this outfit because I did another video, the news of Verbobonc, and I just want to keep rolling, so I just decided to make this video. If you like what you've seen so far and you want to find out more, or you want to collaborate and support the project, please, you're welcome to come to the Three Orcs Discord channel, or you can actually go to my Patreon and support me there as well. All this stuff is free because it follows the Wizards of the Coast fan content policy, and you can get all this downloads for free even on my Patreon or my Three Orcs Discord channel, or even on the Facebook page. But all this information, all these articles, all this artwork is on World Anvil, which is public-facing, free, doesn't cost nothing. You can just use it all you want at the table.
Did you enjoy video? Consider tossing support on my Patreon. It's best way to support orcs. If you would like to see more content, subscribe and post comments below. It better not be bad.
Well, thank you for your time, and I hope you have a lot of fun in your campaign.